Why is my neck always tight? So, tightness and soreness in the neck, it can be from a lot of different things. I'm just going to be talking about some of the acute reasons why you might be having pain in your neck. So, non traumatic things that might be happening to you, actually, it can be acute and chronic. So, stuff that happens over time that creates like these little micro traumas in the area, which can cause pain. And then things that might happen instantaneously that you're like, oh, that's not comfortable. So, one of the main reasons why we hold so much tightness and pain in our neck and shoulders is stress. Weird, right? When you get stressed, the upper trap muscles often become very tight, mostly because we also tend to do what we call apical breathing during when we're stressed and anxious, and that's when you breathe through your neck and shoulders. So instead of breathing with the shoulders relaxed, you end up breathing and the shoulders will tense. So you're doing this kind of motion. Instead of breathing through your abdominals, breathing through your diaphragm, which helps to then relax the muscles up around the shoulder girdle. Another thing is just because these muscles are also known as fast twitch muscles, they end up becoming tight quite easily because oftentimes the opposing muscle, which is the lower fibers of traps, which is it's like this nice big diamond shaped muscles, the lower part of it is quite weak, and it has to do with our posture throughout the day. So the body is automatically going to use the strongest portion of that muscle, which happens to be here, and then it ends up tightening and you get like the shoulder lift that you don't even realize is happening, and you're just going through your day like this, and it's getting shorter and shorter and tighter and tighter, and that's why you get that chronic pain that comes up through the neck. So some of the postural reasons why this tends to happen, and I think this is the biggest problem for most people, is cell phones. Okay, cell phones, laptops, computers, being stationary for a long part of the day and not changing your positions can cause pain because you're essentially creating a force on the muscles and the joints that might not be natural or good alignment in that joint. And then you have this repetitive trauma happening to through gravity pressing down on your joints over and over again in this loaded position that can cause more pain. And it also can cause the muscles to strain more because now they have to work harder to help support the joints. So, for example, when you're sitting down, and I'm sure about 98% of the people watching this is going to say, yes, I do that. And you're probably doing it right now as you watch. We don't watch with our phones at eye level. So what people tend to do is they'll look down, and my hair is not up at the moment, but if I just pull it to the side, you can see this little bone here. If I'm upright, it's prominent, but it's not sticking out badly. But as soon as I look down, this little bone sticks out quite significantly. And it's because now all of the force is at this joint over here, not to mention that I'm flattening through my neck. Gravity is also pulling down on my head now. Instead of pressing directly axially down onto my spine, it's pushing down at an angle. It's essentially creating this huge torsional force on the joints and muscles and ligaments because you have that extra force of gravity pressing down. And it gets exponentially greater as you lean more and more forward with your neck. So if you've been found yourself being guilty, reading text like that, even just for 10 minutes, can cause increased pain. And I know we love to doom scroll, so that's also another thing that can cause an issue because 10 minutes turns into an hour, 2 hours. Next thing you know, you're getting up and you're like, why is my neck and shoulders so sore? So screen time, working on laptops and computers where you don't have a good ergonomical setup. So maybe you're working with the wrong chair height. Your feet should be on the floor, bum higher than feet. You don't have support for the arms. So your arms are like hovering. And now you end up overworking the muscles around the shoulder girdle, which also runs up into the neck. I could go on for hours and hours about all the postures, but the main reason why you get these pains is from repetitive trauma. So making sure that, number one, you decrease stress because that is a big thing. Number two, correcting your posture and strengthening the muscles around like the shoulder girdle, the neck, the spine to help support and keep you in the correct postures. And number three, making sure that you correct your habitual behaviors. So when you're looking at your phone, hold it in a position where you can look down with your eyes without craning your neck. Make sure your setup at home is correct. If you're spending lots of time on your laptop, don't sit on the couch and work on a laptop or in bed and work on your laptop because that's sure to cause issues. If you're driving a lot, make sure that you might need like some support, like a lumbar support, or you're not hanging your elbow out of the window the whole time, because then that's going to cause the shoulder to elevate. Small things like that, correcting those little micro traumas throughout the day can help with easing the tension and strain on the shoulders and the neck. Obviously, this is excluding traumatic events like car accidents, or maybe you whip your head quickly to the side and you end up straining the neck. This is more talking about those little things that happen that you don't necessarily notice until they've accumulated and created an issue with this pain. So those are the small things that you need to address and fix, because otherwise you can treat the muscle tension and it might just keep coming back because you're still doing the wrong things. And you can check out our full body quiz. The link is in the description.